She did. It was
Just-
really nice.
Does it say who?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I could look, but everything's on YouTube now, so don't say anything you wouldn't want the whole world to see. You know what?
Yes. I know. Yeah, write it down.
Go up there. And
Yes, that's right.
Back up to the podium. Stand by the table.
Karen, come here.
Callie is 8.
just because they're fast,
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that would be too late. Well, maybe not. But, yeah. I used to, but now I can't.
I helped them with six. No, but I.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the first I heard of it.
Because they were supposed to be on that table, but
And well, and she did, were you getting it?
they're since
Even our t-shirt, you know. But actually some people will. Some just
They're not here. Yeah, got to do all life. They still have, watching the memorial in Montana. And it was her when she was in leadership. Yeah, her dad, right in there. Okay, I'm sorry. That's Victor.
Oh, okay.
That's Buck, my
So
buddy.
you guys connect, I'm Jason.
I don't son.
How you doing?
Hang in there. Come.
Hands are a little darker than.
All right?
Really good picture.
I have to listen.
That was a nice picture.
Were you from there? We were at the RV park. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it's right there. I am, you know. I didn't even know. I asked the daughter who sits with a handful. And they tell me, "You're yours, Dad." Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It is, it's very, very nice. And I like that it's an alternative, you know, sometimes they put it.
When she was young, she's probably young. Probably, I don't want to be short.
They pay for their haircuts.
Make sure we get the seats open before we sit, okay? No, these are all open. If it's not got something on it, I think it should go.
Then I'll
Oh, no, I always stay, I don't.
Hello, YouTube people.
Very, very.
Taryn.
Karen? Karen.
Taryn. 15.
Karen.
Hey, Karen. I thought it was Karen.
T-A-R-Y-N.
Beautiful there, right? Let us know. Right now, it's no, right? Go skiing? No? What slide, the sled and the sled?
Oh yeah, we got no sled.
You get one of those sleds and slide down the hill, right?
Yeah, there's an angel at the park, so we slid down the hill. At the park across our school.
Wow. Do you throw snowballs at each other?
Yes. No.
Yes. That's fun. We had snow here years ago.
Sometimes I get snow on my car when it is snowy, and then I roll it up and then I throw it at the house. And I throw it at the
Who do you throw it at?
house.
The house?
When mom was videoing me,
Oh, really?
I threw it out the window.
Wow, that's nice. We have snow here one time, but we have a clean to the snow. We'll put a bunch of rocks. We have more thin snow.
Last time it snowed, we played with our Barbie dolls in the snow.
Did you make a snowman? No, snowman. You want to make one, a snowman?
We got to the beach yesterday and I made a miniature.
Oh, a miniature of the same set?
Yeah, I made a Superman, but then it broke, and then I buried it in the sand that I made. But yeah, and then when it broke, so it turned
James, nice to meet you.
Karen?
Yeah, she wrote
Yeah, yeah, I didn't meet you.
Hallie and Karen.
This is my Jason. And my girls, Callie and Taryn.
Karen and Hallie, right?
I'm Darlene's oldest daughter, yeah.
Your
There's
wife?
4 of us.
I'll make sure I...
Tamara. Yeah. And then there's 2 boys, they're in Montana. So they're gonna get it via video. Yeah. It's just
great teacher.
So will you be streaming it live or still recording?
It's like.
Yeah, and somebody is on there right now.
There's
One. What was that?
motion at the front door. It's probably just a truck going by. What's his name? I wanted to see where I should zoom into. Hang on one second. Yeah, I see it.
And then these are my girls. Yeah.
Alright, so you got any snow out in Colorado right now?
When anything goes
So the other, are you guys? Okay, because
Well, if there's one thing that we keep in town.
Yes, this is my sister Tia. Oh, I remember. Yeah. I see her tomorrow. I didn't think you were gonna. They're getting Jason. Yes, I
We got a pretty well covered.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh,
begin, because I think we just, got the school for 1 hour. Get going on this, morning service. Well, first of all, I'd like to, on behalf of the Edwards family, I'd like to thank everyone for being here, also for their comfort and words, or the comfort and support they have shown to the family as well. So, we can miss Darlene. So, if you have your victory there, handout, I just want to read something from it, starting Darlene. It says here that Darlene Edwards passed away peacefully in her sleep, December the 8th, 2018, in Arlington, Texas. She was born July the 3rd, 1948. She was the second of 5 children born to Donald and Stella Linke. She grew up on a farm in Milnut, North Carolina, where she came to love horses, gardening, and raising chickens. She was a remarkably talented person. Anything she tried, she mastered. She did art, sewing, upholstering furniture, cooking, solitaire. If anything was broken, Darlene would fix it. All these things were done with a big, beautiful, infectious smile that everyone loved. So no doubt, some consider that Darlene dedicated her life to Jehovah God when she was 13 years old. That's a long time. 13 years old. Goodness, for a long time. And the bottom says, Darlene is survived by her loving husband of 7 years, Darrell Edwards, of Los Angeles, Texas. Has 4 children, Wilbur Pine of Billings, Montana, Wendy Jackson Livingston of Colorado Springs, Colorado, Kelly Jennifer Denkus Dolphus of Billings, Montana, and Tamara Nick Williams of Memphis, Tennessee. Her stepsons include Jim Edwards of Lake Alice, Minnesota, and Joe Edwards of St. Paul, Minnesota. Siblings, Sharon Butt, bride of Shepherd, Montana, Donna Randy Matthew of Billings, Montana, and Wayne Lem, I guess, of Billings, Montana, and Lynette Barry Nobrick Colrick of Republic, Washington. And she has 4 grandchildren. And 2 of them I just met a while ago, real nice ladies, Callie and Karen to be. She's preceded death by her parents and her late husband, Donald Dolphus. Well, so, big family, and certainly, we're going to miss Darlene. And, she was good at a lot of things, like mentioned there, at different, upholstering furniture and art and things. And there's a couple of experiences that she had in her life that sort of stand out as the type of person that Darlene was when she was young. And one of them mentions here that she was sort of like a joker, I guess, at times. She loved to laugh, and as she was growing up with her brother they were living up north, and they were of a young age. It says that as kids, they grew up on a farm. They spent much of their time in the barn. One day, she and her brother Wayne were in the loft of the barn. So she told Wayne that if you jump out of the loft with an umbrella open, so you'll float down to the ground. So he believed her. So it says he would catch you from falling too fast. Poor Wayne. He lived her, and he jumped. He didn't get seriously injured. Thankfully, it was enough for him to never trust what his sisters said again. Are they coming? There's another side here to Darlene. On the funny side, it says here, at Darlene and Darrell wedding, remember that? It came up time to cut the cake, and when they cut the cake, Darlene reached over and grabbed a small piece of cake and smeared it on Darrell's face. Did it taste good? Then Darrell grabbed a large piece of cake and smeared it on Darlene's face, and she stepped backwards. She toppled over some chairs. Of course, she was already married, he had already married Daryl, but she felt even harder for him at the reception. So, it says, someone had videotaped, in fact, videotaped the incident that happened, and it was on America's Funniest Home Videos. I think I remember seeing that. Oh, a nice experience we had. Good things to remember her by. Well, as we know, Darlene dies, and so we're largely going to miss her, and I'm sure more so Brother Edwards. It's, thousands of tragedies that strike families, throughout the world every day. Even, here locally, we see that happening, and many people that are grieving for their death. When it takes your child, perhaps, your mother, a parent, a wife, in this case, it's natural for us to feel sad, and grieve, because we don't want to accept it. It's difficult to accept when someone dies. And certainly we all wish we could, they could be around us all the time, And that's all right, because, in Ecclesiastes 3:11, there Jehovah says that has put an eternity into their heart. So it's in us that we want to live forever. None of us want to die. And because of Jehovah's love, He did more than give us that opportunity, the desire to live forever. He also gave us the opportunity to do so, to be able to live forever. A historian, British historian named Arnold Toynbee, this is what he quoted. He says, "From the moment of birth, there is a constant possibility that a human being may die at any moment, and inevitably this possibility is going to become an accomplished fact." So who can argue with that comment? Mankind has always had to come to terms, with terrible deaths, and sometimes we have a sense of helplessness. We experience that we wish we could do something, when someone dies that we love, The loss seems sometimes totally irreversible, we can't bring it back. So is it possible then to be reunited with the dead loved ones? And what hope does the Bible have for us, those that have died? And the same hope that we want to have, also Darlene had the same hope. She had the hope also of resurrection. In her obituary, it mentions also, says, "She firmly believed in the promise found in Acts 24:15, that there will be a resurrection of those who died. And we are confident," says, "that she too will be given an opportunity to live again, and look forward to seeing her." So we all certainly look forward to her. And she not only had the hope of living forever in paradise earth also, but also had a love for Jehovah and her family. You see the beautiful family that she had. Also, she had also faith in Jesus and appreciated God's purpose for this earth, which is soon to be realized, very soon. So then I ask, if God's purpose is for us to live forever, why do good people die? Well, the Bible mentions that death was never a part of Jehovah's original purpose for us, for mankind. Death, as we know, is the result of Adam's disobedience in the Garden of Eden. So, we, as Adam's descendants, all of us here, have inherited the death ourselves. But Jehovah has provided a hope. It's the same hope that Sister Darlene had. That's hope, I mentioned, soon to be realized. A hope, a promise from Jehovah for the resurrection. And like they say sometimes, sure as rain, it's going to come from Jehovah. Because Jehovah, we know, does not lie, and His word is the truth. Let's look at the scripture here to help us with that, understand that Jehovah never lies, and He says it's going to take place. This is in Isaiah 55, 10 and 11. Look at the scripture here. "For just as the rain and the snow pour down from heaven, and do not return there until they saturate the earth, making it produce and sprout, giving seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So my word that goes out of my mouth be, it will not return to me without results, but it will certainly accomplish whatever is my delight. And it will have sure success in what I send it to do. So again, a promise of Jehovah that there will be a resurrection, and he never lies, so that's going to be a sure thing. So the Bible also gives a hope that millions who have died, just like Sister Darlene, will have the resurrection hope. So somebody asked, what happens to us when we die? There's a couple of scriptures there in Psalms 146:4. It says that the spirit goes out, it goes back to the ground, and that day, the very day, he's caused to perish. Then Ecclesiastes 9:5, it says, for the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing at all. Nor do they anymore, nor they have any more peace because of the memory of them has been forgotten. So that's what Sister Darlene said now. So, but because of Jesus' ransom, sacrifice, we have the hope of the resurrection. And those who have fallen asleep, just like a sister in death, are waiting for the resurrection. And Jesus Christ also gives a guarantee also of the resurrection that we have. There in 1 Corinthians, I'd like you to open your Bible with this, 1 Corinthians 15. See what Jesus says, 15.